In a shocking act of political violence, Colombian senator and presidential contender Miguel Uribe was gravely wounded on Saturday evening during a campaign event in Bogotá's Fontibón district. Uribe, a prominent figure in the conservative Centro Democrático Party and one of the leading candidates for the 2026 presidential election, was addressing supporters when gunfire erupted. He was struck 3 times, twice in the head and once in the leg, by a teenage gunman who approached from behind during his speech. Emergency responders quickly transported Uribe to Clínica de Engativá, where he was stabilized before being transferred to Fundación Santa Fe for specialized neurosurgery. Doctors later confirmed that Uribe had survived the operation and remained under close observation in intensive care. A hospital spokesperson described his post-surgical condition as delicate but stable. The suspected shooter, identified as a 15-year-old male, was apprehended at the scene after being wounded in the leg by security forces. Authorities recovered a 9mm handgun believed to have been used in the attack. Investigators are now working to determine whether the suspect acted alone or was part of a broader conspiracy. Colombia's national police have offered a reward of 3 billion pesos, approximately $730,000, for information related to the case. President Gustavo Petro denounced the attack, calling it a direct assault on democracy, and immediately canceled a planned visit to France. "This act of violence reminds us of the darkest moments in our political history," he said during an emergency address. Petro also convened national security officials to evaluate protective measures for all presidential candidates. The incident has triggered widespread condemnation from across the political spectrum. Former President Álvaro Uribe expressed solidarity with the senator and called for calm, while international leaders, including U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, urged Colombian officials to protect electoral integrity and reduce inflammatory rhetoric in the lead-up to the 2026 vote. Saturday's attack has reignited fears of political instability in Colombia, a country still healing from decades of armed conflict. The shooting draws stark parallels to the 1989 assassination of Liberal Party candidate Luis Carlos Galán and has sparked urgent calls for increased security and accountability. As the nation watches anxiously, medical updates and the progress of the ongoing investigation are expected to shape the coming days. Despite the violence, Uribe's team affirmed that his campaign remains committed to democratic values and will continue once his health permits.